Okay, so as you may know from the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about my history with depression and psychotic thoughts and really creepy, awful stuff. But I really hope this video sort of helps people out. People that might be going through depression or might not know or might know someone who's going through depression and they don't know how to help. I hope this video is useful and let me get cracking. So my story is a bit of a funny one. I'm not sure. I mean, everyone goes through different experiences, but in my case, my depression started when I was feeling very well. I was having an amazing time in Vienna and it was great. Like I had nothing was wrong. Everything was perfect, and then one night I couldn't sleep. I started feeling anxious about my work, about myself. I felt very insecure and I didn't know why, and I kept like having super bad thoughts. And this went on for about 2 weeks. I told my mom. I didn't want to tell my boss, of course. I told my mom and it was awful. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know what was going on at all. I was having such a hard time at work. And then my mom came to save me. Well, she came over to Vienna. I'm from Barcelona, by the way. So anyway, it was a mess. And we came back home and she was like, well, we're going to see a psychologist. And I saw a psychologist. And the first psychologist I met, he was a piece of shit. Like, he literally told me I was there having like super bad thoughts and having a hard time sleeping. I couldn't do anything. I felt super anxious all the time. I couldn't do anything that would be fun because I was always worried about doing it well enough. And I was only being very harsh on myself and I was really struggling. And he told me, you don't have problems. You have difficulties. And well, anyway, this psychologist I didn't like. So I went to see another one. The other one was a bit better and it really helped me a bit. But things weren't getting better. I wasn't sleeping. I saw a psychiatrist as well who prescribed me like a really small dose of some pill. I don't even remember what was that. But it was not cutting it for me. I was not okay. I was not sleeping. I was on a cycle where I would just not do anything and freeze and be very anxious, and my mom was very worried and my father was very worried. I started having super bad like thoughts and I started thinking the worst, thinking of doing the worst possible thing I could do, which is suicide. I went through that. I thought about it. I thought about, this is very hard to talk about, but I actually thought of jumping out the window. And if that's not sad, what is? You know, I was thinking of that as an end to my struggle. And that was seeing psychologists, seeing psychiatrists, like there was no way out. I was like, what the heck am I gonna do? Like, they're helping me and I'm not getting through this. What's wrong with me? That was my question. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't have a diagnosis. I didn't have a solution to my problem. And so it came to one night I was thinking of suicide. I was actually contemplating writing a suicide letter. And I got up in the middle of the night. I tried to write something, but then I heard my mom heard me getting up, and I was like, oh, I don't want to make her think that she's gonna find out that I want to write something. And I was having very bad thoughts. So these thoughts weren't necessarily rational. So I would think, oh, she's found me. And she would know that I'm writing a suicide letter, which makes no sense. But that night, and that in the morning, my mom came to see me before she left for work. And I wasn't well. I hadn't slept all night, and I was really thinking of suicide, and that isn't good. So anyway, what happened that morning is she was like, you need to go to the doctor, or you need to go to the psychologist. You need to go to either. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't go anymore. And she was like, do you want me to call an ambulance? And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, an ambulance. That's fine. So she called an ambulance and they wheeled me in. This is hard. And they were like, I think they didn't take me seriously, the people in the ambulance, and they thought that I was faking something. And I was in such like a bad moment in my life. And then we arrived to the hospital and they told me that they wouldn't have me. Well, first they made me answer a lot of questions. Many people kept coming and asking me questions, and my mom would sit with me. And eventually they gave my mom a sign. I fell asleep at some point because I was really tired. And at one point, they gave my mom a sign that said acompañan, which means like caregiver or something, or caretaker, like someone who is with someone else. And I lost it. When I saw that sign, I was like, you're a part of it too. I had what you call psychosis, psychotic thoughts. I started thinking that everyone in the hospital was an actor and that my mom was also in it because she had this sign. And I just believed that everyone was plotting something and that I would be stuck forever in this hospital where they send my parents in every once in a while just to keep me alive or keep me going. Which makes no sense. I mean, what else can I say? It doesn't make any sense. But I believe that when you get very bad and when you're I believe that when you get suicidal, that's what happens. Like the system has like this crazy place where they put all the people who are suicidal and they don't let them out again. Because suicide is like bad. And I also believe that they took all my data from me. They took all my data and they tried to use it against me. So my parents and everyone else around me, they would be a part of this scheme. I don't know. It makes no sense. But I believed this for a few days. And I was actually, they changed me to another hospital, which what I also thought was I also was like, they're trying to get me from hospital to hospital so that I eventually forget that I'm in a wheel. I don't know. It makes no sense. What can I say? So I went to another hospital and there I got locked in the psychiatric unit and I had a room. I was with a schizophrenic girl named Marta, and we didn't really get along. I was sleeping a lot. I didn't want to leave my bed. I was thinking this crazy thing about the hospital being all full of actors because they knew that I had because there was a meal plan for everyone, like a schedule and a meal plan, and it's had the same snacks that I always have. Like I always have a midnight snack, and it had that in. And I was like, you see, this is proof that they're plotting against me. This makes no sense. Anyway, so I still believe that. And they started giving me 3 pills. One was the venlafaxine, that's for depression. The other one was olanzapine, that's for psychotic thoughts. And the third one is Rivotril, that's for sleeping. And with these 3 magical pills, I started my road to recovery. And that was a long way. Like I saw my psychiatrists every day in São Paulo in the hospital. And they would assess me and see how I'm doing. And there were also a very nice team of nurses who would take care of us and look after our blood pressure, and they would really take care of us. And there was a group of girls who had anorexia in that hospital, and I started befriending them. And I believe my recovery started going well when I thought I could be friends with this girl called Neus. And she was so nice. She was Catalan too, and she had very bad anorexia. Like she was pretty thin and quite disturbingly concerning for her health. And well, I started becoming friends with her, and she was really cool, and I started being really happy, and I got visits, and I got permits to go outside to see my friends, and I started thinking of leaving and going to Menorca in the summer. And I thought that I was fine, and I thought that I could make it. And so they gave me the alta. They gave me the permit to leave forever. And I was free. And I was so happy for a few days. I was very excited because I was the best. Like I was the best in the unit. Like I managed to be free. And I really was the person who was in best shape at that moment because they allowed me to leave. But sadly, recovery is not, like that wasn't it. Sadly, I started having bad thoughts again when I arrived to Menorca. I set myself too high goals. Like I wanted to get my driver's license, and I wanted to help out at home, and I wanted to be this super girl, and that wasn't really easy. So I started having bad thoughts again, like psychotic thoughts. I thought that people who wear sunglasses, they were looking at me, and I started being really scared of machines, like the blood pressure machines that take your blood pressure. And I called my doctors in São Paulo in the hospital, and they told me that I needed to take more olanzapine because they tried to decrease the dose before I left, but then they realized that I wasn't well enough because I was having psychotic thoughts again. So I had to take more olanzapine, and it was pretty shit in the summer for a long time. I was recovering. I was still on the way to getting better, and I didn't enjoy many things. I had to give myself little goals to keep going, and I had to, I don't know, I had to plan every day, like, I'm gonna do this today. And I wasn't really freely enjoying life. I wasn't having the summer of my life. Let's put it that way. And yeah, that was in the summer. And then I was like planning on doing a master's degree in the winter, and I got rejected from 2 universities, which was a major blow, and that was really something I'm not used to because I always get what I want. Like, I don't always get what I want, but academically I always get good grades, and I was like, why wouldn't they accept me? And then eventually the summer finished and I came back to Barcelona, and I got accepted to one of the masters, and here I am doing the masters. It's a master's in law, in international law. If you want, you can do it because it's in English and it's for international students too, so it's pretty cool if you're into law. But I'm not a lawyer, so why am I doing this master's? I just really like it. I just really like the subject, and I just thought I could do it, which was quite ambitious. And now I'm a bit struggling, but yeah. So I'm here now, and I guess I don't have most of the symptoms of depression anymore, so I'm kind of recovered. I don't struggle. Well, I do struggle to get up in the mornings. That's hard because you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm still struggling. But other than that, I'm quite okay. I don't get psychotic thoughts anymore, and I'm almost olanzapine free. Like, they don't give me antipsychotic medication anymore. They do give me the sleeping pill because sleep is so important, and they also give me venlafaxine, which is the antidepressant. And yeah, I can't say I'm fully recovered because I'll say that when I'm like medicine drug free, but I can say I'm pretty fine, and I've come a long way, and I'm really proud of what I've achieved. It's not easy. It wasn't an easy road at all, and it was really hard to understand, and at least I was very happy that I found a hospital where they could take care of me, and I was there for 2 weeks. I didn't say that. Okay. Anyway, I was there for 2 weeks, and I was really happy to find somewhere where they could help me. And no matter what, if you're struggling through depression, or you have anxiety, or you can't sleep at night and you're angsty and you're scared, just know that there must be a place where they can help you. Don't give up. Don't think stupid stuff like I did. Don't think of suicide because you're so young, and you're gonna find someone who can help you. If it's not this psychologist, it will be the next one. And I really want to encourage everyone to go to the hospital, to go to the emergency psychiatric unit, and they will help you. And I also want to say, don't be scared of taking meds. I know this is very controversial. Some people say that you can cure depression or any mental thing, you can cure it with therapy. Well, that may be true for some cases, but it's not true for all cases. And taking drugs is no reason to be ashamed of. And taking venlafaxine, in my case, it saved my life. So just don't be scared of pills. I know my brother, for example, he used to think that these drugs, they're addictive and that I would get hooked or something, and that's not true. So these drugs, what they do is they pick you up, and you cannot stop taking them all of a sudden. You can't like, okay, I'm not going to take them anymore. No, you need to stop taking them gradually, and it needs to be supervised by a psychiatrist. So that's the only thing about the drugs. You don't take them and feel like, woo, and when I'm happy now, I'm just normal happy. I'm not like drunk or like super, like it's not a drug. It's not like a psychoactive drug. You don't feel it when you take it. It's a gradual thing. You go like your levels start getting better and you start feeling more excited and more happy. And it's like normal. I'm not like drunk now. And so yeah, it's really hard to cope with depression, and especially with people's opinions, and people will always have something to say. They will always go, oh, you should do this, or you should do that, or you should whatever. And you just need to learn to ignore it for the most part. And you just do you. And there will be some days that it will be very hard to get out of bed, but you'll do it. And you'll get through this. No matter what, you're gonna find someone. I'm taking venlafaxine for a year, so I will need to be taking it because it's just in case I relapse. They need to, like, the protocol is to give it for 1 year. So that's why I'll be taking it for a while. And I'll stop gradually when my psychiatrist thinks it's all right. And yeah, that's my story. I really hope this helps someone, or at least it helps someone help someone. And I just wanted to say that it's really important to find the right doctors and to find the right medication. And the last point that I wanted to make is therapy. You should also look for a psychologist that can help you cope with what you're going through. In my case, I go to the psychologist once a week, and we're going to design a therapy that suits me and what I've gone through. And that's it, really. I don't really have anything else to say. But I would really love to hear in the comments section if you want to share your stories and maybe advice, because I don't have much advice. All I'm saying is just really, you don't have to treat people with depression like, oh, but everything will be fine. You don't need to, no, like you just need to be there. Just be there, listen to what we have to say, just hold on, be patient with us, because we're not going to get better like this. It's a long, long process for many people. For some people it might be like a week, but for me it's taken months and months of recovery, and you just have to be there. And if we ever have a bad thought or a psychotic thought, just understand that it's a normal thing that can happen when you are going through depression. And just be understanding. Just be there. That's the best advice. And I'm not the best to give advice about this because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. But yeah, I was lucky enough to have very good friends who were there throughout the process, and I didn't feel alone. I did feel a bit alone in the fact that I was the only one who was stuck with depression. But other than that, I felt really blessed with a very good family, a very good support system, very good doctors that could help me through it. And I'm not done. I'm not saying I'm done. I'm not done. I think I'm still on the path to getting better and getting drug-free. But yeah, that's what I've been through up until now. And I hope it helps someone. And I hope to hear your stories down the comment section below. And until next time, bye bye.